Welcome back, everyone. Now, last time we stopped after we confronted Sean Fitzgerald, and he ran off after we quizzed him about the package that he had for
Excuse me, Mr.
Mark A.
O'Brien.
Hello there. What now?
Don't you think we should go help Fitzgerald? If he's been hit by a car, he could be injured.
It's high time there was stiffer legislation against careless motorists.
What we need is a bypass around the village. One of them ring roads, like the M25.
Goodbye for now. Hey,
Hello there again, mister.
aren't you going to help Fitzgerald?
What does he need my help for?
Didn't you hear what McGuire said? He's been hit by a car.
What an idiot. People call me stupid, but I've never done that.
Don't you feel any sympathy for poor Fitzgerald?
He never bothered about me, so why should I?
Well, that's
Bye
nice.
for now. Excuse me.
Yes, sir?
Hey, how about another drink?
See him again?
Do you serve cocktails?
I'll serve anyone with manners. And money.
No, I'm serious. Have you considered turning McDevitt's into a cocktail bar? Cocktails are chic, cool, and popular with younger drinkers.
What? Kids in the bar? Can you imagine it? Pinball, pimples, and puke.
Right, I get the picture. I'll settle for a glass of stout. Look, I gotta be going. Excuse me.
Yes, sir?
Give me another beer, dude. Give everyone another beer. Let's party, guys.
I think you've had enough, don't you?
Hey, listen. Is it supposed to taste the way it does?
Gopaline stout is brewed from the finest chemicals in the world.
Look, I gotta be going.
Can you do that
Excuse
again?
me.
Maybe?
Yes, sir?
More beer over here.
I think you've had enough, don't you?
Look,
Oh,
I gotta
dear.
be going.
Can't have any more.
Hello again.
What?
I'll see you later.
Okay, let's go out and talk to Maguire.
I was telling the truth about Fitzy, mister.
Okay, calm down. Now tell me what happened.
I was standing here, minding me own business, when I saw this beautiful red sports car coming up over the hill. Would you look at that, says I. And I going over to take a closer look. Next thing, Fitzy comes tearing out of the pub and nearly knocks me on my ass. But the car just flies at him. It was too fast for poor old Fitzy, and into him an awful wallop. He goes flying up on top. Jesus, says I thought he was a goner. Next thing, the driver hops out, and I couldn't believe my eyes. He was dressed like a bloody pixie.
Hey, McGuire,
What?
did this pixie have a scar on his cheek?
I couldn't see. He was wearing a stupid mask. Are you a special agent?
Sorry to disappoint you, kid, but I'm not. I'm just an ordinary guy caught up in a whirlpool of intrigue.
And you're drunk.
Not so.
Yeah, you've been drinking mucky beer in the boozer.
Only a few glasses. Did Fitzgerald drop anything when he was hit?
I didn't see. It all happened so fast.
Maybe the package fell somewhere out of sight. See you later, kid.
Okay, mister.
Right, it's time to get rid of the farmer up here.
Hi, it's me again.
So I see. What now?
Did you happen to see a red sports car down on the road?
I caught a glimpse of a flash of red on the hill and heard the racket.
Sure, it was an awful noise. A sports car, you say?
A Ferrari, to be exact.
A racing car? And what was it doing here? The poor fella must have been lost.
The driver of the Ferrari was involved in an accident.
Is that so?
Yeah, he knocked somebody down outside the bar.
What an idiot!
How could a thing like that happen?
He was traveling too fast.
So fast, he ran right under the car?
I mean, the car was traveling too fast.
But you'd have thought the idiot could have heard it coming.
Maybe you know the guy who was hit by the Ferrari. His name is Sean Fitzgerald.
Oh, I know him all right. That's me nephew, the idiot responsible for the stacking of my hay cart. Was he killed by the car?
Oh, no, but he has been abducted.
Well, that's a relief now.
Aren't you going to look for your nephew?
What for? From what you say, it's too late.
Well, you could report the matter to the police.
Better not. Besides, what could they do?
Well, they could mount a search.
They have only the one bicycle between them. In a question of superior acceleration, I put me money on the Ferrari.
I think you ought to know exactly what Sean has gotten himself into.
I'm not sure I want to know.
But you're his uncle. His own flesh and blood.
You're right, but what can I do? If I'm not here to guard it, some idiot might try to climb the haystack. What a moral dilemma. Stay here and guard this potentially lethal agricultural construction, or to go off in search of the prodigal nephew, the very man responsible for said hazard? It'll need some thinking about.
Why, there's no problem.
You're right. Why didn't I think of it before? We'll demolish the haystack.
You don't have to demolish the haystack to go look for Sean. I'll stay here in your place and warn anyone who's silly enough to climb it.
Marvelous! I think I should start me inquiries in the bar.
He strode off in the direction of McDevitt's bar, leaving me to contemplate the stack of hay.
Okay.
On the back of the cart was a crazily
Pardon me.
stacked tower of hay bales, leaning precariously against the castle wall. The stack of hay stopped, short of the top of the wall. Even if I stretched as far as I could, the wall was out of reach. What I needed was a slice or two of Alice's Wonderland. There was a narrow crack between two of the stones where the centuries-old mortar had crumbled away. I pushed my fingers into the narrow crack. It went back several inches into the rock.
Okay, so you use this on the wall.
I inserted the end of the lifting key in the mortarless crack and gave it a firm shove. It remained lodged in the wall, jutting out to form a step. I tugged at the lifting key and found it was held quite securely. The lifting key was rammed tightly into the crack in the wall, forming a strong foothold.
Right, let's climb it.
It was a rusted piece of iron, maybe part of a plow or something.
Right, this little devil gives you a bit of trouble. So if you try going over here, he'll bung you down. Now on the original, you can't just go over here and yes you can.
The rope by which the goat was tethered had become tangled on the old plowshare.
You normally can talk to the goat and like tease it, but they removed that on this for some reason. Bit sad.
Behind the altar was a carved panel, decorated with animals, birds, and plants. I tried in vain to move the panel. There was a pattern of 5 holes arranged on the wall. They'd been drilled there deliberately. I placed my fingers and thumb into the holes in the wall. Nothing happened. It was a statue which had fallen from its place on the wall, 5 fingers of stone projected from the back of the carving. The statue was too heavy to lift. It overbalanced into the sand. The statue lay face up in the soft sand. As I swung the stone upright, I noticed it had left a pattern of holes in the sand. The 5 fingers on the back of the statue had left their impressions in the fine sand. I placed my fingers in the 5 impressions left by the fallen stone. It was weird. They fit perfectly.
Okay, so if you come and look at this over here.
The sack contained a fine white powder. As I dipped my fingers into the soft white powder, I realized what it was. Plaster of Paris. I'd used it in kindergarten to make casts of animal paw prints.
Right, there's nothing more to do in here, so we need to go back down to the bar and talk to Fitzgerald. Not Fitzgerald, Maguire.
The lad was doing his best to Hey, Maguire,
What?
do you know what this white powder is?
No?
See you later, kid.
Okay, mister.
It was a trap door in the sidewalk. I tugged at the trap door, but it was locked from the inside. The plastic cover had been smashed and broken away, revealing a switch. I pushed the switch down, but in doing so it snapped off in my hand. The plastic cover had been smashed. It was impossible to return the switch to its original position. It was a handful of plaster left in the castle by Peagram's archaeology team.
Oh, he's not in here. I thought the farmer would be in here, but he's not.
Excuse me, Mr. O'Brien.
Hello there. What now?
What do you make of this white powder?
Could it be bicarbonate of soda?
I have a suspicion that Fitzgerald might have been given something by Peagram.
I thought he acted strangely.
I'm talking about the gem. It was something he said.
Were you not speaking to him when he ran out of the bar?
Yeah, sure. Just talking, that's all. Goodbye for now.
Hello there again, mister.
Do you recognize this white powder?
No, I don't.
Bye for now.
All these people have different reactions
Excuse
to that
me?
powder.
Yes, sir?
Does this...
I'm not interested.
Oh, they cut it out.
More beer over here!
I think you've had enough, don't you?
I'm sorry, but the pump appears to be broken.
I could fix it for you.
I don't think so. This is a job for a professional electrician. Oh well, at least the glass washer is still working.
It's not my dear, is it?
It just so happens I'm an electrician. Check out my credentials.
Well, no. Isn't that marvellous? Here's a house bedeviled with faulty wiring of a wayward nature. Here's you, an electric man, with a little plastic card to prove it. I still want to see what you can do before I let you touch me beer pumps. You can make a start on the glass washer. When you finish that, will you take a look at the pumps?
Hello again.
What?
What do you make of this white powder?
Ah! Hay fever!
Huh.
I'll see you later.
It was an electric glass washer. It looked even older than the barman. The white whiskers on the bar, the resemblance and... Excuse me.
Yes, sir?
Check out my card.
I've seen it, for heaven's sake.
Look, I gotta be going. It was an electric...
Okay, let's have a look at the glass washer, shall we?
I couldn't see anything obviously wrong with the machine. I figured it must be the wiring. I used all my knowledge of electrical engineering to examine the plug. It was an electrical plug attached to the glass washer.
Right, you need to use this.
I replaced the fuse with a piece of wire. I knew it was dangerous, but I was desperate enough to disregard everything I knew about standard safety precautions. Excuse me, Mr. Leary. I fixed your glass washer, no problem.
Bingo! And a blessing to all the saints. A free half-pint to that man, on the house. Now, could you take a look at the beer pumps?
Well, I guess so, but I'm not making any promises.
If you can't fix them, I'll have a riot on me hands.
The pumps are in the cellar, right?
That's right. You'll find a flashlight down there somewhere.
Well, he's not kidding. He normally says what a dumb place to keep a flashlight. A dark cellar.
It was the lever which locked the trap door. I pushed the lever and heard the grating of metal, but nothing appeared to happen.
Okay, let's open the trap door.
I lifted the trap door and an overpowering smell of stale beer rose from the cellar below. I looked down on a stone-tiled floor, way too far to jump.
Excuse me.
There was a nasty feeling in my guts I usually associated with light opera. It was Khan. What's the problem?
Did you see what happened here a few minutes ago?
What was that?
A man was involved in an unfortunate accident.
I didn't see anything.
What about the boy?
He doesn't know anything either. The kid, well, you know how it is in these rural communities. Not enough genes to go round. I prayed McGuire had the sense to keep his mouth shut. Was the guy hurt bad?
He's been taken care of, but he thinks he dropped a small parcel. You didn't happen to find it, did you?
If I had, I would have taken it to the police.
Of course. Thank you.
Okay, let's save the game as we have not saved in quite a while. And we will save a second slot for this bit.
The lad was doing his best. Hey, McGuire.
What?
Right, nothing to
See you
say
later,
to him.
kid.
Okay, mister.
Let's go back in here and back down to the cellar.
Now I could see. I spotted Mr. Leary's flashlight easily. Then I noticed a flash of light. Something sparkling beneath the open trap door. It was Peagram's gem, all right. A large, uncut blue stone. I guess I was already under its spell.
Did you find it?
What?
Whatever you was looking for.
Yeah. Listen, McGuire. I want you to keep this to yourself.
No problemo. Just chuck us up a crate of lager.
No way. You're not old enough.
We can sell it and make some cash.
Forget it, kid. I couldn't betray Mr. Leary's trust.
I could, for sure. That old misery guts deserves it.
If you want to do me a favor, keep a lookout for that guy in the suit.
Okay. But it'll cost you a packet of chips.
Oh, and shout if you see that Ferrari.
Okay, so we now have got the gem. So let's go back up and talk to a few people about it.
Hello again. What? What do you think of this flashlight?
Very useful. That could be very handy in the dark. How much do you want for it?
It's not for sale. It belongs to Leary. What does this gem mean to you?
Well, well. Would you look at that? Pretty.
Do you recognize it?
No?
If I was a woman, I wouldn't think much of a wire necklace.
It's not made for a woman. I've got my sights on tastier dishes than women. Flesh as smooth and tender as a maiden's. Bones as soft and white as a newborn babe's. Rabbit, lad. That's what gets my juices flowing.
Oh,
I'll
lovely.
See you later. Excuse me.
Yes, sir?
I found your flashlight.
So I see it. You'd better keep hold of that until you fix the pumps.
Does this gem mean anything to you?
Phew. What a beauty. I bet you wish that was real, don't you?
Check out my card.
I've seen it, for heaven's sake.
Funny.
Look, I gotta be going. Hey,
Hello there again, mister.
what do you think of this flashlight?
It's not very bright, is it?
I could say the same about some of the present company.
That's true.
But don't let him hear you.
Keep it under your hat, mister.
That flashlight, like your brain dial, is not switched on.
Do you recognize this gem?
Saints be praised. It must be worth a fortune.
Bye for now. Excuse me, Mr. O'Brien.
Hello there. What now?
What do you think of this flashlight?
It's not a very practical piece of equipment, is it?
It's not switched on.
I'm referring to the lack of a bracket. How would you be fixing that to your bicycle?
I don't have a bicycle.
That's new.
What can you tell me about the gem which Peagram found?
Now there's a gem which should never have been taken. A man would have to be full of greed to covet that stone. What's your interest in the jewel? You're not a reporter, are you?
Oh, no.
Thank the Lord for that.
Goodbye for now. Hey, McGuire.
What?
What do you think of my flashlight?
It's a torch. That's what we call it on this side of the Atlantic.
Want a closer look at the gem, McGuire?
You'd better hide that, mister. What if the pixie comes back? You'll be in trouble then.
I don't believe in pixies. Underneath that costume is a psychotic killer.
Smart.
Okay, I'm just trying to do stuff just to make up the time for
See
half
you later,
an hour.
kid.
Okay, mister.
That's what I'm aiming to do, and I think I've now achieved that. So what we need to do is...
It was a rusty faucet.
Oh, I've taken away all these things you can actually look at. Right. Remember those holes we made up in the
The
castle?
faucet creaked, coughed, and spewed out a stream of rusty-colored water.
Well, you need to... Oh, doesn't work. Right.
It was a rectangle of toweling printed with the words, Nagopolian stout builds body.
Use the towel on the water.
I held the towel under the faucet and soaked it with water.
Now, quickly, go back to the castle. Use the... Huh? Right. On the original, you had to do it this way, but as it zooms in now, just do this.
I sprinkled the plaster on the sand until the holes were filled.
And then use a towel.
The trickle of water was quickly absorbed by the plaster. My improvised plaster cast was slowly drying out. I eased the solid piece of plaster from the sand. Underneath, it had formed a perfect copy of the statue.
Right, I'm not going to go and do the bits to ask them about this.
The plaster cast was a pretty neat replica of the back of the stone, complete with protruding fingers.
Because we're just coming up to the half-an-hour mark.
The hardened plaster cast fitted snugly into the 5 matching sockets. There was a soft thud, then silence.
And there you have it.
No bug. Just a 20-year-old piece of gum. There wasn't anyone that I needed to call.
Okay, so I didn't mean to do that, but let's just have a quick look for this bug and then we can end the video there.
The box was carved by my father. The elephant on the lid was, but that small metal disc underneath it in the chest was a recent addition.
Okay, so you can't do anything with that. I don't know why. I don't know why I did that actually.
A small, sinister-looking metal disc had been tucked under my father's box. Oh, chère cousine, you left me a little present. You shouldn't have. You don't scare me. Espèce de...
Okay, and before we finish, we're just going to examine her phone messages for a little funny message and a new feature that was added I like.
I had messages waiting to be played. I had messages waiting to be played.
You have 3 messages.
Hey, Collard, it's me, your favorite editor. Guess what? I'm gonna give you a second chance. I need somebody to write the TV column. Pays lousy, so what's new? If you're interested, drop by the office. In fact, drop by the office anyway. We have to talk, Nico. That story of yours I spiked. It won't go away. You've made some dangerous enemies out there.
Hey, Nico, it's your old pal. I mean, your new pal, George. Whoa, Ireland. It's a whole different country. And I got some amazing news for you. Gem of a story, in fact. Oh, gotta go. Yeah, fella here's got a drink lined up for me. See you tomorrow, Nico. Slán. Yep, only here for a day and I'm speaking the lingo like a local.
Mademoiselle Coulard, this is Imelda Carchon. I wanted to thank you for being so understanding when... Come to lunch, why don't you? Tomorrow. I might have more news. There's a Monsieur Merlon coming to see me this evening. He says he knows why Pierre was murdered. In fact, he'll be here shortly. I shall let you know what he says. Goodbye, dear girl. Till tomorrow.
Merlin? Oh my God. Merlin's the killer. I better get over there and warn her now. When it came to being two-faced, Imelda was up there with the best. I owed her nothing, but I couldn't just let her die. I arrived to find the Palais Royal courtyard deserted. I only hoped that I'd beaten the assassin here. I had to warn Imelda before it was too late.
But I'm afraid you're going to have to wait until next time. So in the next video we will be seeing if we can get to Imelda in time before Merlin gets to her. Because clearly he's after her to kill her, as she knows too much. But for now, I'm going to thank you all as usual for watching. Please subscribe, like, comment, and I will see you in the next video. So, take care, and I'll see you then.